I'm really happy to be here, not only because I really appreciate them as an artist, also I released in the label. And finally, we have the chance to sit down and discuss about what means to be an artist nowadays. It's a really not easy thing to define and to talk about it, but we will get into the topic, of course. And like always, if you have any question, please raise up your hand and we will pass you the microphone. And let's start the journey. And with the first question for maybe someone doesn't know about you guys, who you are, explain a little bit your role model in the industry, and tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Juliet Sikora, also known as Katzi. I'm co-owner of Kittball Records with this amazing guy next to me, and Mr. Berger. I'm a DJ and producer. I'm DJing since 1999, so long time. We have,
young.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have our own publishing. We have also a sub-label called Scene. And we have
like melodic
techno, and Kittball is more house and tech house. And we are on the market with our label for now 15 years. So we celebrate this year 15 years with our record label. And for me, more than 20 years being a DJ and producer.
Yeah, so you hear we are long, we're in for the long run. And I'm Arndt from Tube Berger, one part of Tube Berger, the Tube. And we are doing this for 18 years now. Lots of ups and downs. And Katzi basically said the main facts about Kittball. And good to be here.
Okay, great. So let's start from the beginning. And I always like to go to the roots of the topic. So let's start to define what it means to be an artist. What is the pure concept to be an artist for you?
Well, to be an artist is especially doing what you love in first way. So I heard before, like the panel before, that you have to first to get focused on which is your target group, and I think this is not the right way. There could be one way, but I think if you want to be an artist, you have to do what you love, and this means, of course, check the market, what is in which market you could fit, but don't do the mistake and do a music genre you don't feel yourself. I can tell you from my point, I'm playing from 99 like house. I started with house, disco house, and there was the point where it was electro was very big, and I personally didn't like electro. But I played it because the market asked for it. And this was, I can tell you, it's the worst feeling to be behind the DJ booth and playing music you don't feel. So I went down behind the DJ booth because I was thinking, oh my God, what I'm doing right now. So it's music I don't feel. It's nothing has to do with the passion why I started being a DJ. And first of all, I started to be as a DJ. So, and I think you have to trust your gut feeling, what's the right way. Of course you will do mistakes. We all did mistakes, bigger or less mistakes. But every point on when you get a mistake and you realize it and get the sense out of it to do it better, it makes you stronger and give you more. It's focusing more to your path you have to go. And don't be scared about it to do mistakes. They will happen. And don't judge yourself too much, because your path will be the right one and yourself will do the right way. So, and don't hear too much what other people are telling you about yourself.
Don't listen to us.
Don't listen to us.
No, but you have a lot of people who are telling you what's right, what's wrong.
But you have a gut feeling, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? I think commitment is super important. Because when you there has to be a drive to be an artist and to really, the first thing you wake up, what you think about is being your career, your job or whatever, and it's the last thing when you go to bed. And I think I think we all know people that are talented and whatever, but they like to party more, or they go on holiday all the
or they
time.
listen too much to other people, and then they lose the path they have chosen, because some people affect them so much that they decide to do like what was it? Was techno. So many artists from house and tech house some years ago started going into the techno thing. And I said, why? Why? It's like a 360 changing from all what you've done, like you worked for 10, 15 years to have a name in this genre, and now you're changing into techno. And normally you start from zero. There are only a few artists who get it well done. Like I would say Klangkünstler did it because he was a tech house.
We just spoke about him, and I mean it's really remarkable what he did, coming from this totally different kind of genre.
But he's feeling it. But he's feeling the music he's doing now. I talked with him, and this is the new way he's feeling. He's not feeling tech house anymore. Then it's okay, but don't change your style you work with because of the market.
Anyway, right?
The market will change anyway. There will come something else, and what you're doing then, you change again. Like if deep house is coming back, you change from techno to deep house. You will lose a lot of fans, and to build up new fans.
I have to say, on the other hand, it's like, I mean, in the past 18 years, we started with kind of like electro house and mashing all kinds of music. And whenever like a new trend came up, for example, when this deep house bubble got so big, it was just natural. Like we felt it and it went well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, then like other genres just weren't for us. We kind of tried here and there, and you just realize it's not for me. So I guess.
Yeah, actually, Klangkünstler is a really good example. I met him when he was like more still for talent sound, and he was able to go to this hard style right now. But he was able to build that up, the fan community, so
Absolutely.
good.
His Instagram is
and
great,
this is because he's really like showing passion in what he does.
He's feeling it. He's feeling it 100%.
And the audience feels it
he's
as
not
well,
fake,
right?
so the audience, and actually we need to understand, like the audience, they are smart. They really can see the fake people.
Exactly.
And he did really well. Like actually, it was a really hard thing, from this melodic, from this kind of techno. No?
And usually the doors are blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Because always people think the cooler the music is, the more credibility you can lose. So that's why you don't you don't damage your credibility with acts that are known for being cheesy or whatever. We know how this works, like from both sides,
Exactly. I mean, also for me, to understand like how to be an artist is also a way to understand life, to behave.
Yeah.
I have a really good example, and it's a really good friend of mine, Germán Brigante. It's one big guy. And when he started to have these kind of huge releases on Get Physical, he was playing everywhere, and but he was not able to talk in English.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. And this is also a huge point to be, for me, in my opinion, to be an artist nowadays. Learn, travel, learn languages. It's not only I make music, I play music. It's much more than that. It's a way to understand life, to behave, and to be professional in all the ways. Into the studio, into the club, but also outside, and trying to always bring a value for the industry and the scene, no?
And treat your audience well, because what I don't understand if artists are treating the fans like shit, you see downstairs on the dance floor people who only want to have like a talk or a hug or whatever, and sometimes I saw artists, they were like more annoyed about this, and all the time I'm thinking like, listen, guys, these are the people who pay your fee. So treat them at least a little bit with respect. And what's costing you to give them a hug or like a chat? Even if I have the 20th time in the night, the same chat. I talk the same shit, but it's worth it.
I think being thankful for it and just always remembering that this is like a privilege to do. And then I think many artists, especially new ones, like newcomer, have this feeling like, I'm a star now, and I need my Dom Perignon or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait a minute, like just.
Yeah,
just
but maybe
humble,
we are also another generation of DJs, I would say, because I started to be an artist because I wanted to play the music I like, and I wanted to play it in a club, and I wanted to make people happy. So that's why I started to be a DJ. So, and I think it's sometimes I'm missing that the artists are losing the relationship to the audience. So it's, it's like Beyonce is staying on the stage, like, what I mean?
It's very marketing driven, like the example you said from the previous talk. that it's like nowadays, okay, we're all experts in terms of social media and everything, but I think what you want to say is like that we kind of started because of the music and because of this whole drive, and nowadays it's like, you have to, social media is more important, and you have to kind of like analyze the audience and stuff. I mean, it's important. It's definitely something we need to talk about as well, but I think the balance is important.
To be an artist nowadays, so much more than when we started. Promotion for us was putting a mix on a cassette and selling it on the club door for 10 Deutsche Mark. So exactly. This was the promotion we did back in the days, and nowadays is like so much more. It's like how it's normally, especially if you do like in a genre like tech house, if you release a track, back in the days you get money out of it. Nowadays it's more you have to see it as a promotional tool. It's unfortunately it's not really much more anymore, because
especially in the genres, especially when you think of Beatport, like 300 sales on Beatport is really good.
And the consuming of music is so quick nowadays because of Spotify and streaming. So when I bought in the 90s or early 2000 vinyls, I could play them for 2-3 years. Especially it was limited US import, white label, only 20 existing vinyls in whole Germany. You know it, and you could play it like for ages. And nowadays it's like this.
Yeah, I think like music was more like timeless. Now it's more like fast food.
Yeah.
We consume, we listen. Sometimes, of course, with all this kind of amount of music which is coming out. But I'd really like to sit down here with you both, because you know how it was back in the day. So I just want to get into the topic like artists and technology. Yeah. Like when you start to feel like, okay, the technology start to be every single day more important for the development of your career. How was for you, how you handled this? Because I saw so many great artists that they just stopped to work because they don't want to like play the game of the technology, you know? And not in the studio, of course, because technology was always in the studio. I mean more like something to build that up your profile. How was for you?
So when we started, it was just, we just started right into the MP3 crisis. So, and everyone told us, guys, the game is fucked, you know, and then the next 10 years, everything went super down. So it was just like the beginning of people illegally downloading music.
And then came MySpace.
Yeah, and MySpace. And so on the other hand, like the whole digital tech stuff went big. But yeah, the thing is like, I think it's always a challenge, but you gotta like the game, you gotta like the hustle, I think. And first, when Facebook came up first, we come from a generation was more like, you don't want to show your life, or you don't want to share
private.
everything.
It was private, yeah.
Exactly. And still, like, everyone tells like, yeah, you should do more on Instagram, but I just don't want to, you know. That's I think for up and coming artists, we should encourage to do the whole social media game, you know, because I think for us it's like, yeah, we kind of reached like a level so we can kind of coexist. And what I wrote you on email, like one thing we really have to talk about is the NFT and crypto game that's happening right now, which will
we
are
be
like super into.
Bigger part in the future. And of course it's like the music is still important because it's like your brand mark, like which music you're doing, but also the style you produce with your music is also that you have your style in your social medias, like how you communicate, create something which makes you different from all others, or do logos, everything, you know, like the CI. Everything has to work together. It's like
an industry standard nowadays.
Yeah.
Back in the days, like, yeah, it wasn't.
I didn't have a logo for 10 years, so so because I didn't thought I needed. So, but then came the social media, and you get your own website.
But the thing is, I think there was also a turning point with like the revenue of music sales just went down for years and years and years, and then there was this point when Spotify came up. And it's kind of changing now, that it's like now, the long term is pretty, if you look at Spotify for artists and you type in like ABBA or Queen or all these old bands, their sales just go up constantly because the algorithm kind of realizes, okay, this generates money, so it's just, the machine pushes the sales, you know? So, and it won't stop until every Spotify user had at least the chance to get to hear some ABBA tracks, you know? And we also see it with our catalog. that it's just constantly kind of building. Like
yeah, it's
not
growing.
And imagine, even when CDs were sold, it was like this, you had a hit, and then it went down. When it's not Last Christmas, it's gone. But nowadays, and that actually made also record companies and everyone being like, okay. So now they're paying advances again, because they know, like, in 2-3 years, it will pay out, So, that's a good point, of the whole, the algorithm, make the algorithm your friend. It's kind of what we said,
But if it's so easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
That's
or you
another
gotta do it
point.
like the German gangster rappers and just hire someone who buys clicks.
And getting about like how we are like right now, like this, an artist became to be a brand, and I just wanna like you can tell us a personal story about like how you build that up your brand, no? Because in the end, it's like Juliet and Tube Berger. There's not only a name, a DJ, it's also a brand, which represent yourself, represent your music, and represent somehow your label. How is the strategy? How was for you to get and to realize like, okay, I'm an artist, but now the business bring me the idea that my name is also a brand. How do you handle this?
Well, you have you have to give the audience always like input. It starts like when you go with merchandise. When you have a brand, you have like followers, you get your own merchandise. You have to change the merchandise. It's with production, which artists you get a collaboration, which getting up or is hot on the market. You try to do a collaboration, or he's doing a remix for you. So it's also a lot of name dropping, to get always not like you are one of the old ones. You have to always get connected with the new things going on the market.
And the scene kind of changes every 3-4 years, So we were like, when we started with Electro House, like it was like everyone, yeah, guys, you're doing great. And the same girls that were like, oh, you're so great. 2 years later, they were like, no, I only listen to minimal. We were like, what the fuck, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't adapt to it, So, but I think it's a very dynamic thing, and trends will come. It's always kind of like a wave between melodic song-based stuff and going back to the hard techno and then going like forth and back again. I think, but what you said, like creating this brand, the industry standard as well is kind of big when you look at like big American or like Dutch artists and stuff. So the audience knows how people do it right. And I think, yeah, you kind of have to adapt. Like nowadays, without a logo and stuff, you just you won't be seen out there, I guess.
Do you see yourself like, for you both, the situation right now, like we are living more like in a artistic market, or it's just pure business?
You have both. But to act more strategically and with management behind some artists, we can push you definitely very quick to a high position, change the market a lot. Because
I wouldn't say but just like management and stuff. Right? The artists, most of the artists we know, they're artists, and they like to be like free thinking.
Yeah, but we also know artists which get pushed very quick to the right channels, where okay, there's money behind it, there's a management, there's
exactly. And this is the other side. It was like label managers and agents, and these people, of course, they want to like exploit the market and get the last penny out of it.
But the best thing is try to do your own strategic things, like,
and feel good about it, right?
Yeah, give you like next year is a new year. So let's say you go into the studio and say like, I want to release on, say, Hot Creation.
Kittball, maybe.
Oh, Kittball. Yeah, so what do I need to do? So check the label, check what kind of music they produce. Don't try to copy the music they release right now, but get a feeling what kind of direction it could fit. It doesn't mean it fits straight away, but it's always good to check out who's part of the family, check out what kind of music they produce, and you can see or copy for yourself, for your strategically think for next year, what are artists doing which have a good position on the market. Like our friend Chris Luno. I don't know if you guys know him. He's like a YouTube wonder kid. He started doing his YouTube streams with hundreds, 200 people looking his video, and then he affected the algorithm, and now he's uploading a YouTube video, and it has in 48 hours like 200,000 clicks, like boom. So, and this is how you can adopt when you see other people who do things right, try it out, but also be creative and find your own way to do something special. Like, I don't know, it's nothing very special, but I have my Vinyl Monday and the people love it. I go through all my vinyls and check one record, and then I play it and I tell a little bit a story about it, and the people love it, you know? So be creative, find something which makes you unique, and of course, which you do on a regular base on your socials, that the people are coming in a regular base back to your Instagram, because the algorithm recognize if one person is coming often back to your page, gives you like a better rating. So it means you have an interesting content which you produce. This means it gives you more visibility. These are things.
Also, I think when we speak about the audience nowadays, everybody's just scrolling. Everybody wants to be entertained, you know, and you got to stand out. So you got if I scroll and then like, what's that? I'm kind of interested, like instantly. And then it's also like, how to explain? It's got to be easy digestible. So if you we made this mistake a lot, you know, like, and we were two guys, so one wanted the other one there. So it's if you see something, it's good. Like if the colors are matching to the music and the clothes the guys wear and stuff. So the easier and quicker the audience can digest it, you know. The better is if you're like, what are they doing? They're playing techno, but wear pink clothes and something's not right. And then you're like, I know, just go on swiping, you know. And I think that's one of the main aspects nowadays, that you have to be like, because people are just known to proper created brands. So that means you gotta at least kind of be like half professional creating your profile. Let's call it profile, you know?
Next time we can do like a panel about social media.
And I ask him this because I have so many times this conversation with so many artists that they feel really that they don't want to be a product. They don't want to be a business. They say like, no, sorry, I'm doing an artistic thing. But I always say then, like, for example, I had this thing like some years ago in Madrid with one guy who was like, he was a painter. Mm-hmm. And he was drawing some paints, and then he said like, no, sorry, I am not a product. I'm an artist. Yeah, and I say to him, but at the same moment that you put a price to your paints, you became a product.
Now, look, Da Vinci is also a product, because you have all these paintings are on glasses. You can buy fake pictures. It's a product. So, and it's at one point it is a product.
The thing is, I think you have to kind of separate yourself from the artist. Even if it's your given name that's on the flyer or something, just separate it from, like, because when you like at home with your family or take a dump on the toilet, you're just a regular guy, you know. So it's like especially young artists. Sorry, but it's true, isn't it?
It's really graphic.
Yeah.
That's true. No, but it's just like, I think especially young artists nowadays, they have so many doubts about, I can't do that because people will think people have their own business to do, you know. It's just like, be kind of like straight in what you do.
Yeah, focus.
And not like, if I do that, then people will think, and you know. Of course, it's a gut feeling, and if you don't feel
we did this mistake as well. So sure. we had like sleepless nights when someone is writing something, not really nice about you. Yeah, exactly. It could be the best party you played. There was one person that came to you and said, "Wow, this was a fucking shit set," and only this so person is like, so in your fucking brain.
It's about the 75% audience that want to have a good time. And you should please them. There will always be like that. We call them the chin strokers. Like, this is fuck them, you know. Really, like, because they will always be mean.
There is always that someone on the dance floor. No, I remember like playing some years ago. I felt like I did a good job, but it came one guy and say the music was so cheesy. which I never understand what means too cheesy. I mean, I understand like you don't like maybe acapellas, or you are not really into house music, which I am. So, but I don't know why the feedback from this person is taking your mind.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter that the 70 rest of the people on the dance floor, they are so happy and grateful. So I really agreed, like, you don't need to take care of this, because otherwise you will not like do nothing, you know, if you are all the time thinking about what they will think about you, or like, you just need to be honest with yourself and go straight and really do it with passion, and there's gonna be haters. Always.
Yeah, there's always haters.
They were,
always.
they are, and they will be. So it's just like, live with them.
Yeah.
And okay, and I mean, now we can see in clubs, in festivals, like, we don't see more any names, and now we are seeing a lot of logos.
Yeah.
And how the artist became a brand, a product, and a good way to define the product is like associate with a logo. How was for you, like, because I know that you both have logos, how was for you the process that you understand, okay, it's time to start with my logo because will really represent myself, or because the market demand, like?
Yeah, because you have a logo, and this is something what people recognize again. Like if it's a written name, it's always a different typo, and if there's somewhere on the flyer or in your socials.
But it's also kind of like an old thing. Like think of Iron Maiden or the Sex Pistols or whatever, like, or AC/DC. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's all metal, but on the other hand, it's kind of common. I think
it was always there, of course, but now for electronic music start to be more like since like 5-6 years, no? Like basically you just see logos in the flyer, not any man. Sometimes the
and you can be proud of it if you have your own logo, and you can print it on the merchandise. It get recognizable. You can put stickers. I know now it's like over because everywhere in the clubs has stickers.
If you feel like sometimes it's cool to make a rebrand. You know, if you think like, oh fuck, this is over, you know, then I think the whole rebranding idea, the whole like invent yourself new is always important. Like in Klangkünstler is one example for us. We had to do it many times, you know, so. And
press pics is also something you should do. Like normally you should do, I would say every 2 years at least, new press pics, because you use them, and of course.
Every 5 years, maybe.
I do it every 2 years, but it's even you change yourself, like you get different dress, or the pictures are not representing you anymore with your music, something is not matching right, and then it's time to do like new press pics. And it's always good, because if you do new press pics, it shows like it's a new me. You know what I mean?
Your new ones are cool.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the new ones are cool. The new ones are really cool.
Like we're half an hour through. Maybe some people want to know something, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Will their questions be allowed?
Yeah, questions will be allowed. I want to go to the social media. Because it's a huge topic. So let's try to make it shorter, because we say we have only 30 minutes, and I would love, like, you guys, if you have any question, you will ask us. How is going social media for you, and how was the mental process? Like to start in the 90s, like it was more like how you say, Juliet, recording a mix in a tape, and then how was the process that, okay, now it's not only about to be in the studio and mix, it's also, it was hard? It was
super hard for me, because I never been a people, who wants to see her own face, or even if I did radio stuff, I didn't listen to the radio show, because I feel I feel a little bit ashamed to listen to myself, like, oh, why have you said that, or whatever. But I need a pretty long time, and I would say I'm still not 100% on point where I want to be with my social, because it's for me still a learning progress, and that's why even I started to get a lecture with a social media guy who's teaching me how to promote yourself right, what should you post, how you do the targeting of your audience, etc., etc. So it's like 20 years of career, it's 20 years of learning, and I'm still learning, because so many things are changing, new stuff come in. You have to be open-minded for any new things come in TikTok.
But sometimes
Sorry,
it's hard.
I'm so out of TikTok. I don't understand TikTok.
We have 0 followers, but we have an account. That's all I ever did on TikTok.
Yeah, me too.
Which is like not a good example. You shouldn't do it. Same with this. When like our career kind of blew up, it was parallel to Facebook. So we had like 250,000 followers on Facebook, and I thought, okay, you post on Facebook 2-3 times. Hey, we're on Instagram now, and everybody will follow. Nothing happened, you know, and still we're super bad on Instagram. And I think we won't change, to be honest.
But there is something interesting. Because we work with Contour New Media with Kittball together, and they told me something very interesting, that TikTok is somehow connected with Spotify. And means if your track is working on TikTok, well, it has influence on your rating for Spotify, and that is super crazy.
But then let other people dance or something.
Yeah, but that, you know, there are big artists who have like choreographs, and they create a dance for the track.
Sure.
So this is for me a little bit too weird, to be honest. But this is how things change.
Do you think, like, since you have social media came to your artistic life, your career get better, or improve, or more gigs, or more?
I mean, with everything, it's like good and bad sides. But obviously, like you kind of show you only show the good sides, obviously. Yeah. So I think from every social media, you have the kind of impression that they're doing great. But on the other hand, I realized, and I don't really personally watch a lot what other people do, but it's really, really made for being kind of worried and envy. Like, why is he playing there? Oh my God, why is he flying a private jet? And look at all this, you know? And it's just like, it's basically a show-off thing, you know?
Yeah.
And what, like, for the younger generations, with all these filters and stuff,
I really like that you brought this topic, because it's the next question. No, like, now the artist became an influencer, and I always think like they are role models, especially for the newcomers, and especially with these private jet pictures. Which I am not against, but sometimes there is like
I mean, you have to show it because it shows like you make enough money.
Yeah, it's like that you are like a rock and roll star, you know.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, they have like a social responsibility, in my opinion, you know, especially with the newcomers. Actually, I remember like one picture from Michael Vivi. He was like in this private jet, and I was talking with one guy who is just starting. He just even like produced one track, and he came to me and say, "Hey, it would be really amazing to like just be in a private jet." And said like, "Hey man,
so that's the goal, okay?
That should be not your goal. This should be, if you want it, you have the chance, like part of your journey. But don't think this just in the beginning, because if not, social media will put you like depressed, because you know, like everyone.
It spoils people, obviously, right?
Yeah. So
on the other hand, it's always a thing like we can be thankful for the big EDM revolution and for all the big cheesy guys, because they kind of blew up the whole genre so much. Yeah. So that actually, like, the DJ became the superstar, and the fees got up, and went really high, and so. But on the other hand, if this guy, like, if his goal is to fly private jet, I think you should be like, I want to impress people with my music, or
exactly.
Weird.
Yeah. But then you see how things are changed. So when we started to be a DJ, there wasn't private jet. There was like.
I would, never done.
Did you feel yourself like a little bit influencer with your fans?
Well, it's sometimes I never saw myself like this. Of course, I know what I'm saying or how I'm interacting. Of course, it has some influence to the people who follow me and this kind of stuff. But I never saw myself as an influencer. I think this changes a little bit right now. Because when I did my new press pics, and people that, oh, I like your top you're wearing, where do you have it from? Okay. And I felt like, oh my God, what's going on? I never had this before. So okay, this sounds like, somehow you're getting more and more also an influencer.
Also, the industry kind of like makes a step towards us, like young designers kind of like, hey guys, can we send you some like stuff?
This we have as well.
Of course, nice, you know?
Yeah, so we get like offers from companies like, hey, do you like to wear our new collection, or you can.
But I see this more as a kind of like an artist to artist thing, because they are like obviously young.
Yeah,
brands,
but we are for them influencers. Why should they give us for free like stuff? So this means yes, we are influencers.
Said, like, being a role model. I think the times where like Sven Fede or Ricardo Villalobos was mostly known for like heavily doing drugs and stuff. And I think nowadays you gotta be careful, you know. I think so the kindergarten workers, you know, they follow us on Instagram, and I wouldn't even like to see me smoking a joint or something, you know. So that's probably. I mean, imagine the 60s or the 70s where everybody was just like on heroin, and nowadays you have the feeling everyone is kind of clean and proper and white teeth.
Yeah,
and
especially also gendering right nowadays. Yeah.
But did you feel like you have like a social responsibility with
Yes.
your
Yes,
fans?
of course, yes.
But change
for sure.
because of like having kids ourselves and stuff, and then it's kind of like.
You think that with the age and the experience of your lives, this mentality changed?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think back in the days we kind of like wanted to have a bit of like the whole rock stuff.
It was
thing.
good that there was no social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that you talk about like there's this kind of fashion brand who ask you for like wear the clothes, and let's go to partnerships. I can imagine like you as two established artists and also owners, label owners. Did you work with partnership? How is your experience? What you can say is a benefit to have a partnership with a big brand, or like how can you tell us how was for
For
you?
example, content media or with like whatever. Like just
contour. Okay. Well, I think you're talking like partnership with a brand.
Yeah, with a brand. Like, did you try with Kittball, like for example, with
Yeah,
the
of
label,
course
to any deal or any with any brand to push the brand?
Well,
like
we
events?
have kind of a partnership with Pioneer, and of course it's open a new audience for yourself. Maybe people who don't know you, who never have any contact with you and your brand. It's always interesting, but you have to take care that the brand fits yourself. Yeah. You know, I don't think I would do.
Hey guys, this is the new product.
Yeah, like for fancy candles which cost $50, I would never do for them like a promotion, and have to fit my brand and what I'm standing for, because then it's like you sell your brand for too cheap. And in the end, it affects your brand negatively. Yeah, exactly. Like,
But I think also this kind of changed. Like back in the days, it would be like extremely seen negative if some band or some artist would be like, yeah, I like whatever, Marlboro cigarettes. But nowadays, I think it's more like, I almost have the feeling it's like these Formula One drivers with all the logos. Nowadays,
yeah, but you would never see on my social like, yeah, you get now the 20% coupon for blah, blah, blah.
Discount and...
No, that's not me.
Okay, we are doing fine with the time, and of course, before we will give the chance to the people to ask, let's go for the NFTs.
Yeah.
I really into, I think is the future. Right now, we are living one moment right now, like in 2000, a lot of people thought that internet will not work, and there was so many people against like, internet's not gonna work, it's just like an iceberg. And now with the crypto and NFTs, we are having the same. So many people doesn't believe, but they really believe, and it really is gonna change the game. So, what are you into NFTs? And
both of us, we are like really into it. We see it as, not only we see it, I think it's absolutely predictable that this is the future. The whole, I don't know if you're like familiar with this kind of, it's basically like a smart contract making out of any digital or whatever kind of art, it makes it unique. Yeah. So if you compare it to the Mona Lisa, the people say like, hey, how can someone pay so much money for a JPEG? Of course you can screenshot it, but it's not yours. So you can buy a Mona Lisa poster at IKEA, you know, make a nice frame, and it almost looks like the one from the museum, you know, but it's not the one. And for music, it's right now a little bit like the Wild West, because there are new companies popping up everywhere, and we had this drop yesterday from Record Shop. I think the guys are here as well.
Yeah.
And they kind of limited an exclusive track and some pictures and stuff to 1,000. And you need to have one of the Tube Berger packs to kind of upgrade to a next card and stuff. So it's like artificially limited, which makes it kind of like interesting to invest. The second market for NFTs is so interesting because like it was just like a thing, like a picture of some ape got sold for $150, and 4 weeks later it was $150,000. So this whole market is one thing. And one thing I told the guys today, the city of Seoul in South Korea is already like transformed 1-to-1 in the metaverse, like in the digital world.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's gonna happen. So there's no stop for NFTs and the whole crypto madness.
Did you start with NFTs for Kittball or
Yes,
like?
we start this year with our graphic designer Mendes. He's also our in-house graphic designer, and also he's for this year the in-house designer for Dirty Bird,
And a rising NFT star.
And
is
rising
is
NFTs.
it's the same guy from Dirty Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and we have like all our covers are highly arty, I would say.
Completely.
And
Completely.
I don't know what he's smoking, but it's crazy what he's doing with our
Good shit.
covers.
Good shit.
Artwork
Good
is
shit.
really, yeah.
Yeah, and then we thought about NFTs, and we said, listen, we have the NFTs. Let's combine it with our charity. We have our charity organization, It Began in Africa, where we work with the African Children's Choir together. And let's split it in 3 parts, like we put the music from the African Children's Choir, combining him as an artist and us as a label. And we had now, I think, 3 drops.
Yeah.
3
and
drops.
went crazy successful, yeah.
And I'm honest, I hadn't expect that you can make so much money out of NFTs, and there is a market who's interesting. But don't think to put an NFT out, it's selling like this. It's always community building. In an NFT world, you have to learn to be part of the community of the NFT. Means you have to be very interactive in the Twitter, in the
Discord is something.
and Discord.
I only
and
thought it for
Twitter.
gamers, and then like, no, that's so important. Like,
Because artists support artists in the NFT world. If you don't get connected with the NFT artist in this world, you don't sell your art. So this is something you really have to understand. It's very supportive,
also,
the
there's
whole
this
thing.
interesting platform called Audios. I don't know if anyone heard of it. It's basically like the Spotify, but based on cryptocurrency. So they have their own audio coin. So that's how you get paid, which is kind of locked to the Ethereum blockchain. And this means the whole decentralization of music. So you don't need an accountant of some major label or like all these deductions. Once you have this smart contract record or like MP3 out of yours, then it's all in this contract. Like you will get this money forever. Your children's children will get this money automated.
It's for it's over your lifetime.
So
it's gaining money
you don't
in
need
the West
like
way.
publishers and labels kind of anymore. But it's some time left, So
Yeah, this is what I read the other day. Like, for example, your track is played in one radio station in UK. With the NFTs, the information will go directly in terms of the royalties to the artist.
Yeah.
And that will jump some intermediaries, like during the process. Of course, there is some people who will get mad with this because everyone want a part of the cake, part of the cake.
Sure.
But in the end, it's more fair for the artist because we will have option to know the information. We will have like 2 options to know how much royalties really belongs to the artist.
and nowadays it's like really.
You know how much money you lost in the process between your track is played by in the radio,
Yeah.
Horrible,
and
sure.
then till how much money in the end the artist receives.
And that's why we have nowadays in our agreements for Kittball, we have like an NFT clause that we can use the music which is licensed to us for a lifetime, but only for the NFTs, because if you release an NFT, you have to have the rights for a lifetime. This is something important, and don't be scared about it to do it, because if the label is also into the whole NFT thing, it's also something new for us, but I saw it with my own eyes. You can make money out of it. I can't tell you.
And the thing is, like, nobody can really trick you because it's all transparent.
Yeah.
Everybody sees how much you earn, and there is no tricky, shady music business again. I heard that like 50% of worldwide publishing just goes in the wrong pockets or just disappears somewhere. So especially smaller artists that get a little bit of revenue, nobody really tells you where to kind of grab it, or you think like, oh, the gamer will do it, maybe, but we lost a lot of money for not like claiming gaming and stuff like
publishing and licensing.
And nobody tells you. It's more like everyone, do your thing.
Yeah, and I can tell you, if you are producers and you are a gamer and you're playing on events, do yourself a favor and pitch your playlists to gamer, because this is also an extra money.
And it's really easy nowadays with the whole gamer portal, so they made it online. That's like You don't need like a manager for that.
No, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You can do yourself. And yes, before we go for the question, I would love, like you say, to the people that maybe are starting, like they just like start this lovely journey in the music industry. Any advice or what you will recommend to them to be?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Never give up, and yeah, it's like never give up, follow your dreams. So, well, but at the end, I was twice in 20 years of career that I said, I will never be a big artist. So I wanted to quit myself, but then something in my belly told me, like, no, go for it, go for it.
That's what I mean with the commitment. So you gotta commit. If you're like, oh, I'm feeling lazy and I would like to go play tennis, then you're probably not in the right game, you know. And I think doubting your art and everything is pretty common within us artists, right? So how can you be sure? Like there's this process, like, oh, I'm the greatest. This sounds so good. And then is it really good? And then I'm shit. And oh, fuck everything. And then maybe after 2 weeks you realize, okay, maybe I should change some bits in my song. And then you get the it becomes like flowing.
Yeah, for me it was like to be patient. People need to understand that it's a long journey and you need to enjoy it. Don't think about the final goal. Then to be humble.
Humble is
this is a fact that everyone should be.
It's nice to be humble, right?
It's nice to be humble.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And always like a smile always helps.
Yeah.
If you treat and actually I just want to say, and yesterday I was talking. As the DJs, we are really privileged. We have, like, let's say, one of the easiest work in the club. Respect so much the people who work in the bar, the people who work for the audio technique, for the lights.
The bouncers.
The bouncers. Those are the people who really take care of the entire night concert to be able to do it, no? Yeah. Because in the end, we have the privilege just to play records and stay comfy in the DJ booth. Not always. Sometimes we have not easy nights, of course. But really respect and treat with education to
I think everyone should go to the bakery and you know the Uber drivers just be like
exactly, no? Yeah. And so those are the things. We have 10 minutes more. We would love to ask and start with the QA round. I don't know if someone has a question, someone asks something.
Also, I see Marcus here. Maybe then, if someone wants to know more about the whole NFT record shop game, maybe.
This is the guy.
This is the guy.
No, we just.
So, someone has.
Hunter, what do you want to know?
We talked a lot about social media. What about to concentrate to make your music production better?
Yeah.
Make better quality. What about that? Find someone. Oh. Hello, my name is Ante Perry. And I know these guys 20 years already, and we experience a lot, and it's nice.
Still love each other.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But this also belongs to a relationship. But we were talking about NFTs and social media. What about making good music, quality? Not to send a demo after one day, just to rethink the music production and to find help if the quality is not there, if where she should be.
Yeah, that's what I mean with get connected with people you like to work. Honestly, start on the highest top. If you want to work with Luciano, I don't know. Ask him. Maybe he likes your production, and maybe he will say yes. And then you can go down until you find an artist where it fits for a collaboration.
Mark Knight told me an interesting story one day that Avicii used to send him demos, and he always like, no, it's not right for Tool Room, you know. And then one day he didn't send any demos anymore, and then he turned on the radio and it's like, oh, maybe. So you never know. But also, I think from the Avicii point of view. Bless him, you know. It's more like if you get refused 2-3 times, it's not that the people don't like you. When you have something hot, then labels will sign your record and just keep on sending. Don't be like too pushy, maybe. And also what Ante says, like, of course, it's like just try to get better every day, you know, and try to learn. And if, like, for example, mixing your record in the end.
I don't do it myself.
There will always be someone.
There are pros for that, so. I don't have the studio for that, and why shouldn't do someone else
we do
who
it and
has
it's a
like
headache,
a 20
so
years experience to do the mixing?
But this is something really nice that I get used to, and I like here since I moved in Germany. In Spain, if someone knows that someone is doing the mixdown for you, they will criticize to you like, come on, someone is doing. And when I came here, I don't know why, I felt like a really relaxed atmosphere with this. Like ghost producers, mixdown, or like mastering, no? Like not really judgment, but especially in Madrid, there's this community, like if you don't do everything by yourself, it's just like you are fake. And I always think like, I have so many friends who are producers who can put food on the table because they work as producers for people.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is something that I really respect and I support them. So, and not everyone need to know how to do everything. These people, like you said, Juliet, like I don't have the knowledge, or I don't have the acoustic, or I don't whatever.
Also, Katzi, like you're running a label, you're traveling, so you can't do everything, and it's
it's completely okay. You don't need to feel bad.
And
no?
why not? Even I go with Ante in the studio. I go with him. I have so many people. I like to go in the studio and
learn
to learn from each other. And of course, maybe he has an idea for your track, and it's adopting it. And then I said, yes, that's the idea I was missing the whole time. And he gives you like he's triggering you in the right direction.
But then it's important, like it's also important to kind of to share stuff. And sometimes earning 20% is way better than earning 80%. You know, in the end, it's more money and more happiness involved. So. I think the whole teamwork thing is interesting.
Yeah, because it's like a creativity melting pot when you go with other people in the studio, because there's always another influence coming to your production side, or maybe he has an analog synthesizer I don't have, and there comes another sound out which I don't have. You know what I mean?
Also, what I like as a producer is really like adding these 20% to someone's music, and not be like, this has to be exactly like I want it, you know. So that's what I have my own project for, more or less, you know. But it's like, I think, the whole community thought is really interesting in nowadays, and also I think also in this, which reflects the NFT world so nicely, because you have the feeling like everybody's kind of like supporting each other, you know, and I think that's in the dance music industry, this wasn't common, you know. I hope it's getting better, you know, but it's more like especially in Germany, I think that's the Dutch or the Belgians, they do it better, you know, like you see like all these big acts blowing up
in which way?
Like in the way of like, I think over here is
supporting each other.
Yeah, supporting each other and building, like having a strong network. And I often have the feeling like Germany's kind of like very separated, and it got better. It definitely got better over the years.
Yeah, be open-minded to go out of your production bubble, because there's a lot of more outside which could help you to be a better producer or produce a better track.
Yeah, I completely agree. You need to go to your comfort zone, no? Because sometimes you get used to this kind of like same groove or same arrangement.
Exactly.
And in the end, it's like, okay, what's going on here? You know, there's like this kind of people who has this.
Become more like a product that just keeps on like. Before Corona, we realized like, okay, we're kind of trying to copy our own tech house kind of loop over and over again just to hope for a beatport hit. And then Corona was like a curse and a blessing in one, because there was finally the chance to make so much music. You guys don't want to know what kind of music we produce over these, and it's really fun, you know. If I had to do hardstyle for a living now, it would probably be pretty hard. But just trying it with the robotic life we all lived before that, there was no time to just make a track for fun. It was always kind of business focused and not enough time because of flying around and stuff. So I think, and it helps a lot to really get kicked out of your comfort zone and just do something new, you know?
Yeah, because we were not able to produce dance floor music. So why not to try something new, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Completely. So yeah, someone has another answer? Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. It's on?
Yeah.
So when I think of creating a brand from the music, so when I think of music from like Robert Frume or DJ Kotze also, I think of a special sound and that's for me the brand. And they don't have the social media that lot. I didn't see it a lot, so they don't take care a lot of it. And the question is, what's the point? It's the point first to take care of your social media and your brand there, or is it better to first create a musician brand of yourself? So
I would say the musician brand first, but it's hard to compare with these people.
It goes hand in hand.
I mean, DJ Kotti is like, sometimes there's always these outstanding.
It's very
figures.
special. He's outstanding. I wouldn't say you can choose him. There will be never a copy of him. You know what I mean? Which works because he is what he is.
And I think you have to kind of like work parallel.
But he created something which makes him unique.
Like Nicolas Ja.
Yeah.
For example,
They are really they have
but
something.
gets respected for being just like a brilliant artist, you know. So I would say in the first place, it's definitely like the music and the impression you have.
The other way around. Stella Bossi, for example. She first created her brand, and now she's playing. It doesn't mean she's a good DJ. Sorry, I haven't heard her yet. But she's traveling a lot. She's getting a good fee. She has her own label now, and I mean,
and as a promoter,
it's
all
about social media.
But the thing is she a DJ now because she's doing it out of passion, or is she doing it because she can do it now?
That's not the point to discuss here. That's her decision.
But this is we talk about how to create your brand with an artist, and I see her as
Stella Bossi did well.
But she's for me like a social media. She's for me a social media artist.
Yes.
I think honestly, I mean, I don't want to lie because what she has is because she worked hard and she has really great ideas.
Yeah.
But honestly, in my
She's
opinion,
funny.
I think like, I don't want to sound hard, but I think like the people who really knows and care about the industry doesn't respect her.
Yeah, but it's
It's my opinion. I talk
side.
with, for example, with good friends like Emmanuel Satie. Like for me, he's one of the guys. Like he knows.
He's respected everywhere.
Yeah. And we were talking about this topic, no? And she brought the topic of Deborah De Luca.
She was like hating on Deborah De Luca.
No, we were talking about
Okay.
this kind of profile of like that's sometimes I don't know we are so if it's like social it's more like social media, or is this an artist, or is what is more than that, you know? We were about this kind of, and also like Stella is a good example, no? What's going on here with
But at the end, one only thing matters: making people happy on the dance floor and with your music.
Entertainment.
And how you do it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's like the same discussion. Oh, now when CDs came up and vinyl, oh, he's playing CDs. Oh, he's playing USB. So what? Oh, you are producing with Ableton. So what? The most important thing is the result.
Like the people dance, no? It's like how many people criticize Richie Houghton when they start with the Tractor and 4 channels, and it's like I didn't see nobody doing what Richie Houghton did with Tractor and Ableton. Nobody.
And even David Guetta for like having not connected the CDJs. This guy played like he comes from the underground. Played like
exactly.
He can DJ. When you book a David Guetta or like when he has a show, it's more about like taking the picture. He's actually there. If you sell tickets, you've done something right. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that speaks more for being a brand than an artist. But whatever path you choose, like you become a super successful product, but you're not happy, and someone else is producing your music, and you never know. Like maybe.
So whatever you do, always do it with passion.
Yeah.
Of course, I am also think like if you wanna play the game, but don't stay complaining all the single day like this person is better than, or he has more repercussions. So that, because there's gonna something happen which will piss you off. So live happy, do what you want to do.
Focus on your art instead of like Stella Bossi.
Focus on yourself, exactly, because there is gonna be always something will create on you like this moment, you know. But so.
Any last question?
Any last question?
What about the girls maybe here? Because one thing that the girls have like right now, the whole rising of the techno ladies and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And strong women in the music game, like like the one sitting next to me.
Exactly.
So maybe it's a good time for.
It's a good time.
It's a good time for us to sign someone that flies around the world and makes money.
Make us rich. Ladies out there? No question? No?
Okay.
Go
It's
for
more
it.
of an observation. I know that you mentioned about social media, like Instagram and TikTok, and that you don't really have much of a presence on these things. Is that more a choice because you just don't really see that's where your audience is right now? Or is that just where you just don't want to go?
Honestly, I have now someone who's helping me with my social media, and that's really good because it's so much work. I don't know how to handle it at the end of the day, especially with the label and everything. I talked with my social media manager, and he said TikTok, of course, but at the moment I should get more focused on Instagram because this is more where my audience is. Because TikTok is for more younger people, like mine is 18. Like
anyway, it would be needed,
but
it
will be
tough.
needed maybe one day. But first, let me start to finish my Instagram.
Then we can talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think it's harder for younger people getting into music with social media? I think we're living in an age of comparison, and I think social media has a lot to do with that at the moment. Do you think as young artists have more of a, not a problem, but are going to have more of a struggle kind of getting into music or really driving their music forward because of it?
But on the other hand, they are like better prepared for rising on Instagram, right? So yeah, it's also for like older artists like us, it's sometimes hard to see like, okay, they're more like social media hypes, and I had to learn the whole production thing, but times are changing, right?
some stuff I see on social media, it's not me. I would say, you know, I couldn't do that because it wouldn't reflect myself how I am, and I can't do like crazy dance or I don't know.
Oh, I've seen you dancing.
I know.
I saw also.
But you don't have to do everything what is working on the market. You have always take care if it's representing.
And also, kind of like we can
your
like
character.
build our brand, and we can like reach a certain level without this. But I think if you're starting now, or if you're like in the game now, I would recommend to kind of focus on it at least a little bit. Not sure what kind of person you are. I probably enjoy sitting in the studio most and have these moments like, hey, this sounds good. Mm-hmm. But other people kind of like to talk to their phones. So why not? I think everything's.
I like it nowadays too, to talk to my phone.
Okay, so someone else? Okay, great. So yeah, that was all. Sorry.
I have a question. I think like recently we have seen in the US that there has been new tech house emerging scene like Chris Lake, John Summit, Noizo, West End, many more names with new style of tech house. While I think here in Germany we haven't seen such a movement, such emerging new names, new talents, new styles. Do you think this is because of music elitism here in Germany, or maybe we only had a slab house, sadly, here in Germany, but we hadn't this kind of movement in Germany, especially in tech house?
Well, I would say I play tech house and more tech house than house. And I tell you, it wasn't easy the past 2 years to play this kind of music in Germany because the market not really asked for it, because everything in Germany is techno, melodic house.
And there's a lot going on in these kind of scenes, right?
But I said to myself, that's me, and I don't want to change myself. I don't want to go a different way, because there will come the time where this kind of music is coming back, and we have it now. The music is coming back, and I'm pretty sure the next 1 or 2 years it will come back again, because tech house is getting more commercial than ever. So, and it will affect the German market, I'm pretty sure.
But actually, from my point of view, it was really always a positive things, because when everyone is playing here, I have the same feeling, no? Like promoters and club owners just want to make hard techno parties, techno, melodic techno. But there is not really a space here for like house or tech house. Or yes, but you need to go to this minimal house that you go to Club de Visionnaire or like Hottrax. But yeah, exactly. But then it's really positive, because at least for my reaction, it's like when everyone is playing this kind of techno vibe, and then you came with groove, the people got crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy. That's the funny thing.
They
when
go
you,
crazy.
When you play the music, everyone is so thankful that it's not techno, that it's not melodic house. But I don't get it why the promoters
the thing is, like,
are not open-minded
it became very
to
much
it.
with the internet and everything. It became very much like a lemming kind of thing. Nowadays, like you have a Fisher record that's doing well, and then 3 weeks later, like all the tech house music sounds like it's a Fisher, like a Chris Lake production or something. So, I mean, all the copycat world kind of like, yeah, it's booming. But yeah, good to hear that.
Yeah.
So that you can, if you bring like.
So if you want to listen to house and tech house tonight, come to Ritterbutzke.
Come to Ritterbutzke for the showcase.
I think is the ticket included with the pass?
I don't know.
So yeah, there's amazing lineup. Amazing lineup today with Ante, Juliet, and Tube Berger.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's all for now. Thanks so much for everyone
Thank
for
you.
coming. Thanks a lot to
Thank
the
you for
amazing guests.
listening.